Imagine waking up every morning as the king of luxury. Your empire stretches across fashion, watches, fine wines, and even five-star hotels. Every time a celebrity flashes a Louis Vuitton bag, sips on Dom Perignon, or walks a Dior runway, you're making money. That's the reality for Bernard Arnault, the man behind LVMH, the world's largest luxury empire. He's not just rich, he's the richest, often battling Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos for the #1 spot. But how did he do it? How did a man from France build an empire worth over $200 billion? Let's break it down. Chapter 1. Humble Beginnings to Billionaire Aspirations. Arnault was born in 1949 in Roubaix, France, into a middle-class family. His father owned a construction company. Nothing flashy, nothing luxury. But Bernard? He had bigger dreams. In the late 1970s, when most people in construction were just thinking about cement and steel, Arnault was thinking about how to reinvent himself. He convinced his father to sell off most of the business and focus on real estate for the rich. That move alone gave him his first $15 million fortune, a solid start, but nowhere near what was coming next. Chapter 2. The Sneaky Takeover of Dior. Now here's where things get ruthless. In the 1980s, France was facing economic trouble, and many companies were struggling, including the legendary Christian Dior. Dior was owned by a sinking company called Boussac, and the French government wanted to save it. Arnault saw his chance. He quietly partnered with a French bank, promising to revive the company. The government handed him control of Boussac, thinking he'd save all its businesses. But instead, he sold off everything, except Christian Dior. He kept the luxury brand and laid off 9,000 workers. Harsh? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. This was his first real taste of the luxury business, and it was about to get much bigger. Chapter 3. Building the LVMH Empire. With Dior under his belt, Arnault had his eyes on something even bigger: LVMH. At the time, Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy were separate companies that had merged but were constantly fighting. Arnault saw an opportunity, again. He secretly bought shares in LVMH, gaining more and more control. When the company's leadership was at its weakest, he staged a corporate coup. One moment, he was a silent shareholder. The next, he had taken over the entire company, kicked out its old leaders, and crowned himself CEO of the world's biggest luxury group. Brutal? Maybe. Genius? Without a doubt. Chapter 4. The Billionaire Growth Strategy. Now owning LVMH wasn't enough. Arnault wanted to dominate luxury, across fashion, jewelry, watches, cosmetics, and even wines. So he went on a shopping spree like no other. He bought Givenchy, Fendi, and Bulgari, expanding into ultra-luxury fashion. He snatched up Sephora as well, because why just sell luxury handbags when you can sell luxury beauty too? He acquired Hennessy, Dom Perignon, and Chateau d'Yquem, because luxury isn't just worn, it's sipped. And in 2021, he made one of his biggest moves ever, buying Tiffany & Company for a record-breaking $16 billion. Arnault's strategy was simple: buy the best, make it exclusive, raise the prices, and let the rich keep spending. And guess what? It worked. Chapter 5. How he stays the richest. At this point, you might be wondering, how does he keep getting richer? First, LVMH never stops growing. Even in economic downturns, the ultra-rich still buy luxury. In fact, when regular people cut spending, the rich often spend more to show off their status. Second, he plays the long game. Unlike tech billionaires who rise and fall fast, luxury is timeless. People always want Dior, Louis Vuitton, and Tiffany. Finally, he controls his empire like a king. Arnault still owns about 50% of LVMH, meaning no one can kick him out. While other CEOs get fired, he stays in power decade after decade.